On March 7th, Karl Urban gave JoBlo 2 new tidbits about all things Judge Dredd. One was about who really directed the 2012 movie simply titled Dredd, and the other was a status update of sorts on the in-development Judge Dredd Mega City 1 TV series. Both news items will be analyzed and explained in this video. Dredd opened in September of 2012 to rave reviews from fans and critics alike. Despite this, it instantly bombed upon release. In my view, that failure is primarily down to 2 things. One was tainted audience perceptions based on the 1995 Stallone movie, and the other was lacking audience awareness that the movie was even coming, let alone it being worthy of seeing, and that is exclusively down to Lionsgate delivering an even worse promotional campaign than their usual already subpar ones. This has been covered in more detail in earlier videos, so check out the links in the description for more on that. However, for the briefest of time, the movie also suffered the stigma of having a troubled production, as word got out that director Pete Travis supposedly had been locked out of the editing bay, and that the movie was being finished by writer and producer Alex Garland himself. Now, if a writer has to step in to finish the director's job, that is, more often than not, a major red flag. During the movie's release push, many also found it weird that despite his official role as director of the movie, Pete Travis never appeared to be more than a 0 on the left compared with Garland, as Garland was the one doing most of the talking. So what happened? Did Pete Travis drop the ball? Was what he filmed so bad that Alex Garland had to step in and take over? No, not at all, and you can kind of see that from the movie itself, which doesn't show any signs of having had any kind of production issues whatsoever. On Dredd, the relationship between the movie's writer and the movie's director always was an unorthodox one. It wasn't the director, and it wasn't any unnamed suit at the studio, but Alex Garland himself, who had been the driving force behind the movie from day one. He was the one who wrote it, he was the one who produced it, and he was a very hands-on producer, to the point of being the de facto director. As fans speculated early on, and later got confirmed, Dredd was approached not like a normal standalone movie, but like a high-end serialized TV series, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in that the director is there and can put his spin on it, but it is ultimately the producer who runs the show and calls the shots. To use a Marvel analogy, on Dredd, Alex Garland served as a Kevin Feige, only much more hands-on. So much so that Karl Urban himself is of the opinion that the real director of Dredd was indeed Alex Garland, and not the credited director Pete Travis. Now is when you should be asking, if Alex Garland was so hands-on that he practically was the director, then why hire Pete Travis as the credited director in the first place? Here, I do not know the facts of the matter, but I will make an educated guess, based on the evidence at hand. Dredd was not the blockbuster from a major studio. Instead, it was made by a production company that had to seek external funding to make it, and then shop it out to different distributors around the world. This means that those providing the funding, like Indian hedge fund I Am Global, got some say over how the movie should play out. They were, after all, the ones footing the bill. It is my understanding that they were the ones mandating the movie be made in 3D, as it was greenlit in 2009, after Avatar rocked the world. I would not be surprised if Garland approached them about directing the movie himself, in addition to writing it. While I have no doubt that they were sold on his writing abilities, they might not have been comfortable handing directing duties to him as well, as he, at the time, hadn't formally directed anything before. They might have insisted a more experienced director helm the movie they were paying for. And so, they probably hired Pete Travis based on the strengths of the fast-paced Vantage Point, and had him come in and point the camera and shoot, following the instructions of the very hands-on producer Alex Garland every step of the way. A unique but efficient collaboration. Could there have been frictions along the way? I certainly wouldn't rule it out, but I don't think Travis was locked out of the editing bay so much as he simply wasn't needed after the shoot had finished. Whatever the exact nature of the collaboration between Garland and Travis, it worked in that a great movie came out of it. And with Ex Machina, Garland later showed that even without the assistance of another director, he is a very adept director in his own right. So why is this only getting out now, 6 years later? Actually, Karl Urban has been saying this exact thing in conventions for years already, only this time he told a reporter who decided to publish the story to a wider audience. So the only thing newsworthy here is actually the upcoming TV series Judge Dredd, Megacity 1. There is not a lot of news in the JoBlo article, and what news there is hidden between the lines. When the series was first announced last year, they were only starting development, so it wouldn't be ready for at least a couple of years after that. Beyond the vague intention of what it could be, we didn't learn when, where, or who, and we still don't know. At the time though, Karl Urban said he hadn't heard anything, but all Rebellion had to do was reach out to him. Well, they must have, because the JoBlo piece implies there have been numerous discussions between Urban and Rebellion, and he further reiterates how much he would love to return to the role of Judge Dredd. So while nothing is official, indications are, if anything, even stronger now, that if the series does indeed make it to the screen, it will feature Karl Urban reprising Dredd. But it has to make it to the screen first, and that's on Rebellion, so that ball is in their court. We're just gonna have to be patient, and hope they are able to make it happen. If they do, where would you like to see the series end up, and how excited are you for Urban's likely reprisal of Dredd in it? Let me know in the comments.
If you like this video, then please hit that subscribe button. Due to recent changes made by YouTube, we also encourage all of our subscribers, both new and old, to please hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button as well, so you will be notified when new videos are uploaded. Be sure to check back for news and analysis of the happenings and corporate politics behind the scenes of your favorite genre movies, as well as explorations of your favorite characters and their backgrounds and context here at Midnight's Edge.